There's one more thing about codependence I do want to touch on, because I'm not trying to hold on. Sorry about that. At one point, when you become codependent, at some point, it is because it was used as a survival tool for you to survive. And so, yeah, I can laugh and make jokes, and that's because that's my own way of handling my downfall, my imperfection, drinking other people's emotions and then trying to help fix them, resolve them, so then we can both feel better. At some point, this served me to survive, to tune into the tone of voice, to tune into the facial expression changes, to tune into the body language, to tune into the weight of the door slamming, to tune into when the garage door is opening and to perform and put my mask on, to tune into the person in front of me, to see how are they really feeling behind what they're saying they feel, because that's how it was delivered to me. And so, codependency is a form of survival as well, and this really needs to be honored, and this is where compassion needs to come in if you are recovering from codependency, because at some point somewhere along the line you had to kind of tune into, whether it's your partner, a parent, roommate, whatever, you had to monitor their ups and downs, because when they were up, everything was great, but when they were down, everything was horrible. And when I talk about alcoholism or abuse, there's a codependency when you step into a healthy relationship and you start realizing and you start having the awareness of, oh shit, man, I'm bringing some unsafety here because I'm trying to get my partner to feel a certain way so I can feel better, and that can be hurtful. But this is another layer when you're in an abusive relationship, or you're with an alcoholic, especially if it's long term. Codependency is still going to be a tool then that you're going to need to use in a way, but this is also freedom from the alcoholic, or freedom from whoever you're codependent on. Is if you can step into this mindset of not allowing their mood or their highs and their lows to get to you. You can almost imagine, I imagine like this blackboard, and whatever comes at it, it bounces back. So whatever someone throws at me, it's like boom, boom. It doesn't, I have this protective wall here. It's not to keep people out. It's to not have negative emotions get to me where I drink it and then it gets into my system, and now I'm drained and depleted. And now I feel that same frustration or low emotion because I took it on, even though I was fine before I was in the same room with them. At some point, it's hard when you're in a chronic state of survival with somebody who makes you feel unsafe, and then you get into a relationship that's healthy, and then those loops continue. You have two people who are like healthy, but they're recovering from traumas in the same house, and you want to know why marriage and divorce rates are up, because there's a lot of unhealed trauma, and it's progressively worse every generation. It's not like progressively it gets better. If it goes unnamed, and if it stays in unawareness, then it's just a program that gets regenerated every single birth. Someone has to be the person to break the cycle, to rewrite the script. The only way you can do that is first to become aware of the generational loops and the wounds, and you have to find the wound, and then you have to get the wisdom from the wound, but first you have to heal that wound. And this is a process. It's a systematic process that can be followed if you are interested in following a process that can help you free yourself from being owned by the people in your life that bring you down, even if you love them. Can you imagine walking into a room with someone you love, and every time they're upset, rather than taking it on and it bringing you down, or you just feel that impact, you're like, okay, cool, that's their mood, that's theirs, and now how can I help? Or do I need to remove myself and just kind of walk away and give myself space where you're not taking it on? It's not a fault that this happens. Please understand that. It's not a fault that this has happened. It's telling you something. It's telling you this is something that you relate to. At some point, you had to be so tuned in and aware of the pattern of another human being because you were unsafe around them, where you're like bracing for the next moment. You weren't receiving the moments because you have to brace for when. it's going to happen, because you know it's going to happen, because it's a cycle.